What's up, dog?
Hi, dog. Hi. Lovely to be here. Thank you. Thank you for having us into your home, Benny.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah.
I just met you recently, and I adore you now.
Oh, I like your stuff as well. That's very kind of you.
You're so cute and fun. You've welcomed us into your home, and we've immediately begun judging.
Yes, begun the decor, and then you were right. Your roommate did start blending.
Oh, literally the moment. Yeah,
right
he was putting all the
you said record. He's like, he pressed the button.
I'm not sure they can hear that because it's like the
background noise.
But I want them to know.
Yes.
There's a lot of lady journeys going on in here. There is a smoothie being made. There are natural elements.
Butterfly posters.
That make up the decor. I see a woven basket, which I am a huge fan of your woven basket.
Oh, yeah. That's from Africa.
Oh, did you go?
No, my dad goes all the time.
Really?
He's in the military.
Oh, wow. So, okay. That's cool.
He's like... Yep, he's doing stuff with Africa. Yeah, so,
wow.
Like,
I like it. That was very
general.
Yeah, it was very secretive. Yeah. What's he doing over there? Just Africa stuff. You cannot know.
Blood diamonds and colonizing.
Sarah's from South Africa.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. When'd you move here?
Oh, I was
when they started doing apartheid. She was like, I have to get out of here.
I gotta go. This is not...
When they stopped doing apartheid?
Yeah. Kinda. 1978, the timeline. I think it was in the 80s late 80s they stopped apartheid. Yeah. If I remember correctly. Yeah. But yeah, I moved here when I was I think I wasn't even a year old. So it's not like I have to get back to my home country.
Yeah.
I'm fully blood American.
You're a Texan.
Yeah,
it's so funny. You went from Texas is like the opposite of Africa.
Well, you know what's weird is like the reason why my parents moved is because crime was going up and everybody was having guns and they didn't want to live in a place that everyone had to have guns at home. And then and then we moved to Texas where everybody has guns.
That's great. Yeah. That's a great bit.
Yeah.
I should say that in the internet because I bet it would blow up.
Yeah. It was weird. But also my dad liked Westerns. So it just ended up that way.
People love Westerns.
They do.
That's why I can tell you guys have like a podcast together because you guys just got cooking instantly.
We can't stop. We can't stop. That's why we started a podcast because every time we see each other, we just never stop talking.
No, that's fantastic. But I'm trying to do more groups of people on my podcast because like they already have their own built-in dynamic.
They have the chemistry.
What I mean? It's like you guys are just like.
Yeah.
No, but we want to focus on you because I love being in a space. When I came in here, I said this reminds me of dating in my early 20s when you're like, oh my God, he's so cute, and you get back to a space and you're like, okay, taking notes in the mind. I'm noting everything. This is like a very. How old are you, Benny?
29.
You're 29. Okay, so this is like the apartment of a 20s man.
Yeah, but you know what? It's better because it's not like you have like empty Gatorade bottles and you have decor. Do you know what I mean? Like there is a theme going on in here.
Yes, and I love it.
Yes.
I love the butterfly
I appreciate
stuff.
That.
It's nature.
Your podcast, you're saying, is oriented around like talking about decor and vibes and crystals and
decor. Vibes is definitely the word I would use.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I always think it's like undiagnosed ADHD, meaning like we get into something really hardcore and then we abandon it.
Yes,
and it's usually along the feminine mystique.
Yes, it's like getting really into I'm like I'm gonna do decor in my home, and then 2 years later I've never done a thing.
Yeah,
you don't have. What is your space like?
My space, I actually now have my bedroom. Okay, but it's super minimalist. So we have like very sparse furniture, but I do have in my bedroom we have one piece of art. It is my boyfriend's portrait of Jesus, and then I have crystals. So it's kind of like it's like a painting. It's like one of those paintings of Jesus that you would see in a church.
Oh, not his paint. I thought not his painting.
No.
Gotcha. Okay. I thought like you meant he painted
It's
Jesus.
a church sanctioned icon of the Lord.
Cool.
Yeah. So and then we it's like super minimal, and then I have like my crystals, so it's fine. It's like his magic and mine. Well,
Are they dueling?
Together.
Is there like an aura split down?
Yes.
The room?
Yeah. And I'm winning.
I feel like the church is into crystals, but just specifically gold.
Yeah.
That is an element.
Diamonds.
Gold, silver, and
just
diamond.
The precious metals.
Yeah. Our crystal people they never have like a lump of gold.
No.
You know what I mean? What's that about?
We're not materialistic. We care about the energies and But I see you've got a lot of precious stones back here, I feel like I don't know.
Can you read that's from a different angle? That's more of like a geology.
No, I kind of can't see back there, but I think Maybe this is rose quartz.
Shit, fuck. I believe so. Yeah, there's a couple quartz.
This is, oh my God, I love stone.
Hell yeah.
I love stone.
Shit, fuck.
Now, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a lady?
No, I don't.
Okay,
Should
single
I put
guy.
that under my pillow?
Yes.
Is that the
Oh my God,
idea?
do.
All right, I'll start. Which one's the money stone?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. That's probably why I'm broke.
Which one's the winning in Halo
Jade,
stone?
right?
Oh yeah, you have jade. This is a good one to put under the
That's an
pillow.
Inuit. Or actually, no. My mom got that.
But jade is
somewhere.
the
Greenland, maybe?
dreaming stone. So put that one under
Really?
your pillow too, and then maybe you'll have a
cool.
wet dream.
Oh,
Romance
cool.
and dreaming
I'm trying,
together.
Yeah, trying to combine these. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find
No.
love in my dreams.
No,
That's all the only place.
It's hard.
it
Because you can't
is.
control your mind.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Did you ever try to lucid dream?
Oh, I have.
Really?
I used to do it a lot.
Fuck shit.
I used to do it a lot when I was teaching preschool. I would have spots really late, and so I would only sleep like 6 hours, and then I would get up and I would work a day, and then I would come back and I would have like a 2-hour nap, and then I would go into the lucid space.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I think it like had to do with, and that was my life for like 8 years. That was just like my schedule. So I would just lucid dream like kind of every day.
What would you use it for? And I'll tell you a joke in that space is that people.
Oh, I love it.
I'll tell the joke first and then
Yeah,
see
tell
if
it to me,
See
tell
if
it
it's
to me.
accurate. Whenever somebody says they are trying to lucid dream, that just means they're trying to have wet dreams where they're God.
That's what Katie was doing
Yeah.
for 6 years.
Yeah, it was like so weird. There
That's
was like a
funny.
really hot guy, and he would just come towards me.
Were you like flying around or what were you like?
Yeah, I would always like try to fly. I would try to do like magic in the dreams, like manipulate reality, but it was always a lot harder than I remember one time I was having a dream where I was like manipulating reality, but I was actually just flexing my calf muscle, and that was like how I could do magic.
Yeah.
By getting my calves huge.
So it's like half lucid, half like it's lucid where it's like you're doing magic, but it's still dream where it's like,
Yes.
but it's through your calf as your wand.
Yeah.
Really, more the word I would use is like hypnagogic, where it's like I wasn't able to control the dreams, but I had like more of an awareness.
Oh god,
I find
that's a
consciousness.
cool word.
Yeah.
Afternoon naps are like that, where you are kind of aware that you're asleep. So I would always get sleep paralysis for the afternoon napping. That's why I can't do napping, because they turn into anxiety dreams.
Do you get the demon?
What's the demon?
The sleep paralysis demon. Sometimes people like when they have sleep paralysis will like see a figure in their like room because they're like they're kind of dream while they're still awake. They kind of get like a dream beings in their space.
I'm not aware of, it's not like a demon. There's definitely like times where I feel like I'm being chased and I can't move. So it's that feeling of like, that I'm like this. I know I'm sleeping right now. When you're aware that you're in a dream. Mm-hmm. I've had that where it's a nice moment in the dream where, especially an anxiety one, where you're getting chased or something bad is happening. And then you're like, wait a minute. I'm in a dream. And then you just let it happen and it kind of just like disappears.
It's great. It's like when you're afraid of like something bad happening and you're like using all these things in your life to like avoid the emotion, and then you stop and you're just like, I feel like a failure, and then you just let it wash over you, and then you're like, I feel great now. I'm not a failure
Sorry,
at
everybody.
all. It's like I didn't need to go to 18 tea shops. I used to have this recurring dream when I was little, which I found so disturbing. I would be like a little kid and I would dream of like all these other children around me, and we'd be like playing. And as I'm like deep in the dream, I'm like also slowly coming out of it. So I would be like talking to somebody, and then I turn over and everyone's gone and I'm like awake. It was like such an altered state of reality for me. And it was just like when you're insane and you think you're talking to somebody, and then you realize that person, like Fight Club.
Yes.
Totally. I feel like sometimes they'll reveal anxieties I didn't know I had, and like that's an interesting one where it's like, is that saying something about like people, like you're concerned people will leave a conversation, or like, you know what I mean? Or like, what's the anxiety there? You know
I
what
don't
mean?
know that it was like an anxiety dream. It was just like maybe the way I was sleeping at the time was going from a very deep sleep and coming up, waking up really quickly, and then going like, like when you're dreaming in the REM and then you go from there to like waking up. It was just like, I don't know, maybe just something jarring about that.
Right.
Not being used
Just
to
like
it.
that. Okay.
But I've had tons of anxiety dreams. Don't worry about that.
Is there any other dream?
Is there any other dream?
I keep dreaming that I shave off my mustache.
Oh, interesting.
It like freaks me out because I'm always like, I don't like the way I look without the mustache, and so I just like, I don't know why. I just like dream that I do it again, and I don't know.
Even though it can grow back and everything will be fine.
Yeah, and the fact that I actually did it like maybe a couple months ago, I actually did just shave it all off. Just in like a manic state, I had like a Red Bull.
You're like,
we've all been there. Bangs, 2017.
Every 4 years.
I want to hear a new Red Bull joke.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
So it's like on stage, I'll be like, "Hey, sorry if I'm being like really weird. I got a free Red Bull earlier. It's currently in my fridge at home, and the weight is killing me."
I love it. I love a misdirection.
I don't know.
Misdirections are such fun. You almost feel like a magician.
Totally.
Sleight of hand.
Like
if they can't see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If they can see it, if somebody sets up a misdirection and I know where they're gonna go with it, or if I know it's a misdirection, I get so upset. You know what I mean?
It's like, I know.
Do you think it's kind of close to the feeling of a pun happening?
Oh yeah.
Where you're like, oh, okay. I get it.
I like a full 180 with the misdirection. I like a full 180. I don't like when people say something and then they say something else. I think it's like a kind of, they don't master it fully. But I wrote one recently that's like, I'm getting older, I'm running out of time to have kids, and I'm really scared. Like, what if I have to spend the rest of my life having fun? Is this it? But some people will be like, I don't want to have kids. They're stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, that
was a statement. You just did a statement.
You just did 2 statements.
Like, I guess somewhere between a pun and a misdirection is like a language, like a sentence reframe, right? Like they'll do like the first half of a sentence will be one thing, and then
you can lightly pause it.
Yeah, like light pause, change of the idea.
Well, I would do mine. It works some of the time, and then some of the time people are like, "What? What was that?" I'd always say I'm at that age where I really want a baby bump of cocaine.
Yeah, that's great.
So I would consider that a misdirection.
Yes.
But you just lightly pause.
Yes.
Because they think,
that
a
first
baby.
Part, it's also funny, the idea of just wanting. I
bump.
always thought it was funny, of just wanting the bump, but not actually having the baby.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I thought the joke
that.
was initially.
Yeah, that's a fupa.
That's called beer.
Yeah, totally.
I would love a baby bump of cocaine. I haven't done it in years, ever since the fentanyl. Now we're over here. I'm like, do you have cocaine in here? I'm getting a sense that you're like an edible guy.
It could. Yes, that's what your room screams.
Here, but I don't have
pot.
Oh, don't give it to me. I'll flip out. I'll be like, guys, you hate me.
What made you think that?
The edible?
The natural
the
element.
Nature element.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and you have like, I can tell being in someone's room is so revealing about like what's kind of going on. It's like an externalization of your thoughts. Like, you seem very imaginative to me being in your space.
Sometimes I'll have people like, cause I've got, I have jokes about like bugs and butterflies and stuff, and they'll come over to be like, "Oh, you mean that?" Like, they're like, you really actually
love bugs.
Yeah.
I find bugs to be really interesting.
Well, there's so many of them, and they're so different.
So many bugs.
They're so diverse.
Do you guys have a favorite?
Favorite? No, I don't know that I have a favorite bug.
I like the ones that emulate a predator.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like I just saw a moth that their wings when they're up look like a python head.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah.
Like, I like that kind of stuff. Or like the snake. This isn't a bug, but this coral snake, but the king snake that replicates the coral snake colors.
Oh my god!
Like mimicry camouflage.
Yeah, I find that so fascinating that there's animals in nature that are like, I'm just gonna do that without the work.
What about those? There's those flowers that look like.
Like orchids are like that.
There's like a couple types where it's like one of them looks like a bee that the bee wants to like have sex with or something, and that totally.
When it's like psych.
Yeah.
It's like a like nature rape.
Yeah. Nature's like pranks.
It's like a.
It's a good show.
Oh, I love it.
I think you would be really good at it, Penny.
Yeah, that's your
nature
show.
Nature pranks.
When nature pranks. Other animals.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought this was a real show. Are you?
No, we just made it. We're pitching it for you.
We'll write it for you. We need work.
Sometimes I'm gullible, so sometimes like a riff, I'll be like, "Oh, is that a thing?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. Especially because we just met, so you don't know.
You don't know
my
us.
riff style.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah,
Well, I have a thing where like I love to be. I'll be like, "Oh my god, look at you," and people always think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm being like genuine. You know, they're like. I'm like, ooh, eating a cheeseburger. Uh-oh. And they're like, what? Are you making fun of me? I'm like, why would I do that? And it just seems like I still am. Me? What? But I'm just like excited. And I have like a theater background, so I have a lot of vocal variation. You know, I'm like,
Do you sing? Is that a...
No, I mean, I'm not really that good at singing. I did like years ago, you know, but it's like, it's hard to keep up.
Like,
I just
like plays and stuff.
And he will raise you. No, I just go into a song.
Benny, do you sing?
Yeah.
That'd be no. I mean, I like to, but I don't know anything about music. Like, I'll sing in the shower. But
Yeah, same.
it'd be funny to do a singing podcast, like a fully sing-song podcast.
Well, Greg Stone does.
Yes.
Somebody does that?
He does.
That's
He
great.
does.
Night Cream.
Night Cream.
You don't know that you're on it until you're like, I guess this is what we're doing for an hour.
Sings.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty fun.
It is.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We're all dancing around it. I can't.
It's hard when you sing because you have to like really not be self-conscious.
Yes. And you know what's like sometimes annoying? Sometimes there are times where I'm like, I think I sound pretty good. And then I used to do this a lot in high school, like tape record it. And then you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is it that I have a different point of view?
Yes. It sounds different. This is why, like, I think, like, I do not like karaoke because it's like, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings by saying this, but it's like, it does seem that it attracts a certain type of person that's, like, really into, like, their own singing, but not at, like, a professional level.
Yeah.
And you're just like, the only reason I would be here is if I was really into my own singing, but now I have to sit here for 2 hours and listen to somebody singing Baby Got Back, which is not even a vocal
no range
performance.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was thinking like I guess video games or there's certain like activities like maybe I don't know some like casual sports type stuff or karaoke where it's like somebody always takes it too seriously.
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, chill. The whole point is that we're here to have some beers and sing.
Yeah.
My heart will go on or whatever.
Yeah.
They're waiting to, you're like, you're not getting discovered here. Chill out.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I went to like a karaoke bar in K-Town and just like,
Yeah.
it was like somebody's birthday who I didn't know and they just like bought a ton of beer. And like the ideal karaoke situation is someone's birthday you don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you just like you get to like vibe with you know what I mean? I don't or maybe somebody's birthday you do know. I don't know.
I've been to K-Town a few times for like I've done like I do enjoy doing the private room karaoke.
Yeah,
Same.
that was one of those.
When it's all of your friends and it's like
It's like
or like a
half,
bachelorette party. I think that's actually a really fun, great thing to do. I was speaking of like by where
bar.
I live, there's a purple bar that advertises Jello shots. It's like purple glitter.
Oh, I think I've walked by that.
Yeah, and they're like
recently.
obsessed. They have all the doors and windows open, and people sing like bad karaoke there like every night, and it's just like what's happening in here? It just feels like quiet desperation.
Yeah.
What's the most desperate activity you can do?
Well, I can name quite a few.
Comedy.
It is up there. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Like me.
Hi. Now, Benny, did you do like a lot of open mics? Were you like an open micer person back in Philly?
Sure. I don't know how else you could possibly do comedy. You don't know anybody that jumped straight to doing shows.
I know.
Kinda.
I know some
Is that
people
possible?
they go from like
Cabarets.
the internet, like internet now, and go to comedy.
Really? But how do they? Oh, interesting. Damn, that's
Yeah.
a good
Like
point.
he blowing up via TikTok or something, and
Like
then like
front-facing
and then
camera.
like getting like signed to an agent, and then like booking a tour from it.
Oh,
you know?
damn.
I think that happens.
I don't even consider that.
I think it happens a lot now. Yeah,
It feels like the way.
it is the way.
Yeah.
Seems like Bo Burnham was like the first person to do that, right? Like
Yes.
I remember him talking about that
The
on
YouTube.
the green room.
The YouTube, yeah.
Yeah. But he did that whole thing.
All the
first,
music
and then he just
stuff.
toured. And but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, open mics in Philly are
That's nice. I remember going to the Nightingale. Wasn't
In
that
Philly?
the room?
in Philly.
The Nightingale Lounge?
Possible. I wouldn't have been familiar with it. I don't know.
Oh, did you start here?
No, I started in Philly.
Oh.
But I guess
That was
I don't
like
know,
the big open mic there for like years and years. But maybe it's been like gone for a long time.
Maybe time frame. I don't know.
What about that other small theater, Good Nights?
Good?
Good.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
closed. Did they close?
They closed,
I think
yeah.
so. I remember
Such a bummer.
working on my half hour there
Oh,
that I
you
never
have one?
booked.
Good.
Yeah.
Totally. I wear that shirt a lot.
I remember being like, there were 3 people in the audience, and I was like, why are you guys here? For me?
Yeah, it's so sad.
Sorry.
Who's it sadder for?
I was there all the time. That was like the alt scene.
Yeah.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I really love about Philly, the Mutter Museum? Am
Yes.
I saying
sure.
it wrong?
Yeah.
Mutter.
I have no idea. I say it one way, and then somebody corrects you, and then you say it that correction, and then the other person is, you're like, we're all over the place
It's
with this.
Muber.
Yeah.
That's the medical history thing.
I find it so fascinating.
too.
I think it's the coolest, the coolest place you can go in Philadelphia.
It's also.
As someone from Philly, I'm going to disagree, but
Oh, really?
I'm sure there's other. I think there's other stuff that's cool, but yeah.
Well,
totally.
it has like
Sorry.
a goth feel to it.
Yes.
It's
Or
got a
like
what?
American Gothic. It's curated really nicely.
Yes,
If I'm thinking of the right one, is it the one
like
that's like
it's
on that university campus?
yeah, I
or
think
something?
so. They have like a wall of skulls,
Yeah.
which is
Okay.
really cool. And then it's
Yeah.
got each skull has a little placard where it's like the age of the person, the date they died, and what they died of, and everybody's like 24. Yeah, it's like
It's all the old medicine. It's got like vials and shit.
Yeah. It
has
boxes.
vials,
Yeah,
but
totally.
That big intestine.
they have the
guy.
giant, the big intestine guy. It was a guy, and they have the whole story of him. It's haunting. He basically like never pooped in his life.
Yeah.
and
What?
and then they have his
Jealous?
like they have his giant, and then he was like small, but he had a giant belly.
Yeah.
But because that's what all the poop was just like going in there, and then they have the thing, and it's like 8 feet long.
How long did he live?
He was like in his 20s maybe when he died, but he like tried to go poop. He couldn't. He they knew there was something wrong with him. And he like lived in this like whatever was like a hospice situation
Yeah.
that they had back in that day. It was like the early 1900s. And then they said like when he died, they like did an autopsy, and they cut it open, and it was just like full of poop.
Sure.
He
yeah.
couldn't get it out.
I'm surprised even back then,
That's so funny.
people knew of plants to help cleanse.
Yeah.
They couldn't help
yeah.
in that department.
I think that
A good old leeching.
I know it's so interesting to see like what goes wrong with you just 100 years ago when you have no access to like antibiotics or
Yes.
that type of stuff. It's like, oh, your body just goes weird.
Well, that's the thing I liked, because at that time when I went, they had an exhibit of like war wounds from the Civil War.
I saw that one too.
And then you're like, oh my God, you just see how brutal war is when medicine is just very basic.
yeah, just sawing off a dude's hand with
Yeah.
a saw.
No anesthetic, or like a musket ball to the thigh bone.
Oh
yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
What's your favorite war?
Civil War. You ever watch Ken Burns' Civil War?
I have seen part of it. I've actually found it really triggering because it goes like right into slavery and like the atrocities of slavery. I was like, I can't. I was trying to watch it like during the pandemic. I was like, not the right time.
That's very triggering for you as a former
As a slave owner.
As a slave owner. But I used to do, I'm from Indiana, as I mentioned. My mom worked in the emergency room, and her emergency room friends were really into going to the Civil War reenactments and doing the pretend medical amputations,
Oh, wow.
which is
Jesus.
so fucked up and bizarre. But like, we went there. I just wanted to wear the hoop skirt. I was like 11, and
Yeah.
then they're all like, it's so hilarious because it's like when we do like pretend stuff, it's like, oh, we're doing it like for the camera. These people are like, we're gonna have to take the leg.
Yeah.
Jimmy's like, no. It's like there's no one around, no one's watching. It's just for us. But like the ER people were just like pretend sawing off people's limbs without anesthesia, and it was fucked up and strange.
nonfiction LARPing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yes. That's
Instead
a
of
great name for
casting
it.
spells are like we have to amputate. Shit, fuck. I'm trying to think of what's there's some stuff in Philly that there's a butterfly pavilion.
Yo,
Yes.
you love the butterfly pavilion.
They got rid of it, which I only learned
So
recently.
Philly.
So Philly.
There was not actually at the butterfly pavilion, but there's an insectarium, and some of the like spiders there and stuff are like very expensive. And there was a heist. Somebody stole one of the like $10,000 spiders because they are worth so much. And it was like a
Wow.
real genuine like spider heist.
That makes me sad, but I find it cool.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It's upsetting.
Also, spiders don't last that long, so that's not a great investment.
Yeah.
I love
it's not
spiders,
like a Rolex.
though.
I mean, you can wear it like one if you
That is
clamp
true.
its feet.
What are your other top Philly spots? Old Town? Do you like Old Town?
No, not really.
Okay. How about the Italian Market?
Italian Market's cool. I
that
like
one's
that a
pretty
lot.
cool. Yeah.
I wasn't there that often because I lived kind of in a different spot. So
Okay.
the spot I lived at, I liked a lot, called Manayunk.
I don't
There's some
know
beautiful nature, and you can walk out on this dam that there's the river, and you can walk out on the dam that blocks the river in a cool way, and be 40 feet up looking over it.
Wow.
It's pretty neat.
That is neat.
But it's some stuff that if you live in Philly, then you'll have like the time to get out to these places. It's cool. It's a thing called Devil's Pool.
I
heard
like
about it?
natural water holes.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
My
yeah.
goal is to travel, do a tour in the summer, and hit as many as I can.
Oh, I've always wanted to do that. Go to like
a
Saratoga
cool one.
Springs or
Yes.
something. Yeah, natural water.
Well, this one's called Devil's Pool because so many people jump in and die.
Oh, are they doing it
the
head
devil.
first?
Yeah.
It's the devil. That
The
stupid
devil
hole.
wants me to go in there.
There's a old, I guess either railroad or like old bridge that's like maybe like 120 feet up or so. And then there's like rocks that are kind of down near, but then the water is definitely not deep enough in parts to like jump in. So there's all these signs that are like, do not jump in. You will get hurt.
Yeah.
We
And
And then
cannot
there's
rescue
other
you.
signs that are
It's
like,
far
"Do
away."
I'm the devil."
Well, you'll see
dare
people jumping
you.
in.
Wow.
Like people are doing it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wow.
It's like an activity.
I'm not a rock jumper. That's
No.
not my thing.
I have to like at least swim in the area first to see what I'm dealing with. I just have fears because you hear stories about people like jumping off cliffs into water and then getting impaled by a branch that you're like,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
Yeah, totally.
Nope.
It's like the water is deep enough, but there's one log
Yeah.
or something
Yeah,
pointing that
just
way.
drowning out in your butthole.
I am
And you're
not a
like,
thrill seeker. Yeah. I'm not a thrill seeker. I know people are always like, I jumped out of a plane. I'm like, I would
No.
rather have like a lovely tea.
Yeah.
Let's take the money. Let's have a brunch. Like,
No, absolutely.
Why are we stressing ourselves with riding a motorcycle in the rain?
Yeah.
Okay, Billy Joel, I get it.
Actually, I have one more Philly place that's coming to mind as an important one to
yes.
mention because it's kind of connected to that Devil's Pool.
Uh-huh.
Just like a short walk away from that in the woods there's like this hut that was built by this 1600s alchemist guy who
Oh my God.
started a cult in the woods. John Kelpius, the Hermit of the Wissahickon, and he would get all these people.
Lady
and,
Journey.
So Lady Journey.
There's this like big plaque with like runes on it and shit, and like he like made these stone huts and and then
Love it. Sounds like a
yep.
retreat.
Yeah.
I'm so
Pretty
into
cool.
that.
I like also to hear like even during that time to have outliers, like just lone wolves that are like
yeah.
you know,
Like the weirdos.
like we
of-
still have weirdos now, but
Yeah.
you're like they're typical to us. You're like I kind of want to know what the weirdos were back then.
Yeah.
Part of it is people would listen to them, right? Like Joan of
Yeah.
Arc, people were like, "No, she's probably right."
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's probably a lot more because now we're like more educated. When you think back then, you're like some people were stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, or were easily influenced.
I feel so strongly that I would have, if I had exposure to that cult in the 1600s, I would have joined it. I'm already like my propensity to believe in magic is already very high.
Yeah.
And if you say I'm the Hermit of the Wissahickon, I'm like, okay, there.
Yeah.
Are we gonna be contacting? Well, you know, like sometimes I do. Some things that make me believe in magic in a way is like, have you ever done like a very deep meditation where you kind of almost go into like a dreamlike state and then you feel you're meditating, but you're in a dreamlike state, you're kind of unconscious, and you feel like, you know, all of a sudden you're having like a vision of like outer space or something, you know, something like that. Like that stuff has happened to me before in my life, and I think that it's just the nature of like getting your body into a deep meditative state and being able to access like some kind of like collective unconsciousness. And I'm sure that they could do it back in the day, but you would just be like, oh, like it's magic.
Yeah.
I'm a witch.
Is there a certain type of meditation you do to get to that type of point?
This type of experience I've only had a couple times, and I was doing a type of meditation where I would do a full body scan, and then I would every day when I wake up. That's very important. You have to do it right when you wake up, so you attain the it's like the theta state of your brain. So like that's really important because you're like not quite asleep, not quite awake. So full body scan.
You're like doing a lucid dream check, but for being awake.
Yeah, kind of. And then I would like zoom out. I was doing it, I think it was something guided where it was like you zoom out, you put your awareness into, fill the entire space of the room with your awareness, and then you fill the entire like town, and you keep kind of like zooming out until your awareness is like all the way out to like the surface of the earth. And as I was doing that, I kind of like went into like a deep sleep state and then had like a really intense dream like experience, which felt like I was tapping into something that was like the collective unconscious.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Who knows what it is, but you know, like people have like near-death experiences, that type of stuff all the time, and you know, I think like back in olden times, you would just interpret it naturally as being like, oh, that's magic, you know?
Right.
Well, like I know people like Sam Harris, who I believe is a neurologist. He does say that you can reach whatever you're doing with ayahuasca with meditation.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah, I believe that. And then you won't get really into hats.
Yeah.
Have you done ayahuasca?
I have not. I would be interested, but
I want to do it. I've done mushrooms, but I'm afraid of doing ayahuasca because it's like you know, I know some people that have done it, and it's like you
get really into hats.
like
What's
you
that
like
about?
reveal the truth of who you really are, and then you're like like you don't like you're like annoying, you know?
Yeah.
Or something.
Well, I always feel like if ayahuasca, people that take it religiously and want you to do it, it feels like the pyramid scheme of, or MLM of
yeah,
drugs.
It's like I'm a shaman now.
Yeah.
And I'd love to guide you. You're like, are you a life coach? Yeah, it's so funny. It's like when people get really into life coaching and they're like, but they're like, you would make a great life coach. You're like, wait, I'm a mess though. They're like, me too. You're like, what?
That's like people with being like a landlord or something, or like being the, you know, ownership class. They're like, oh, anybody can achieve the American dream of owning a small business or whatever. It's like, well, obviously, you know, you can't have that with it. Anyway.
Yeah.
just
No,
to
it's
the class.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
no, let's go into it.
Yeah.
What I really want to do, my boyfriend and I, this is our new dream. We really want to go to Amsterdam and go like just outside of the city and go to one of these like shroom spa retreats where you do like a really high, it's like very, you're not like shrooming just like for fun or whatever, like, oh, we watched a really good movie. Like you're like with a therapist and they are taking you to help you like resolve your internal issues, and you do like a really high dose like under supervision.
Seems like they saw the writing on the wall that weed was getting legalized, and they were like, we need a new thing in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shroom resort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like you can't do shrooms are like decriminalized in like a few places here. I think like Oregon, or maybe it's like Washington, but like you can't do it legally in a holistic setting, which is obviously what I'm looking for.
Right.
I want the
With
whole foods of
robes.
shrooms. Yeah.
Somebody do like a spa type
Lavender
thing.
oils.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm working on a bit about I saw like essential oils for Tourette's.
Did you really?
Like,
I'm interested in this.
Oh, it's fun. It's funny to have you guys. It sounds like you guys like. I don't know if I don't think it would work. I don't think essential
I'm always
oils
a
and Tourette's are
skeptic.
connected.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but it would make you
try
smell
anything.
great.
Yeah.
People wouldn't
Put them
notice your
on?
Tourette's.
Is that how it?
They'd be like,
I
"Is
thought it was
that
like I smell them.
rose?" Yeah. Oh,
Is it the-
you smell them, so you smell them.
Well, I don't know. Is that how do essential oils work? Do you put them on yourself?
Sometimes you put them in a, what is it? Those
Like a diffuser or
diffuser
something, yeah.
with water, and then it'll disperse it as water droplets, oil droplets into the air.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've also heard it like used like in an aromatherapy massage. They'll like put it on your temples. You like smell it. You know.
I guess the joke being like I yelled like a slur on the subway, and I'm like, hold on, everybody, I have to sniff my lavender.
I love that. No, Tourette's is so interesting to me. Like, so like when. How do you think that people should like respond to you?
What the fuck?
Oh my
Well,
god!
it's like, is it okay to like you ignore it, or like to also like joke with it as well?
Yeah. I'd say ignoring it initially is probably the safer idea, and then joke with it once we're comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
You know
out
what
the
I mean?
gate.
Exactly. If somebody jokes, totally.
Coming in
Yeah.
hot.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're like, hey, we don't have that yet. I'm like that with roasting. Where I'm like, do I know you? I don't know you.
Nice top.
Yeah.
You're like
You're like, I will go
feels
for the
aggressive.
jugular.
Yeah.
I saw your roast actually of.
Oh,
Comedy
with Joe.
Central. Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
That was my only roast. I only do it for
Aw.
money.
I did a bunch for
it's so
free.
nerve-wracking because you have
it's too
to
much
land it,
preparation.
and it's
Yeah.
the first time you're really doing those jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Have you
some-
ever done them?
No, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe somebody that I like loved would make sense.
That's the
but,
best.
Like, I don't know.
You roast the ones you love.
Totally. Like
Yeah.
a stranger, I would be like, I don't know. I would feel bad like going in, and I'd also feel I would get my feelings hurt.
Yeah. Well, you definitely know what they're going to say. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. Do you
Well,
know?
I feel like
Do
they
say,
would
like-
hit your Tourette's hard.
I feel,
Right.
I feel like a lot of people would be like, "That's too easy." You know what I mean? And then go for.
But
others.
you're dealing with a lot of simple people.
overestimating. Yeah, you're overestimating the people that go to the roast battles.
And that's what you would come back with,
Yeah.
how easy
Oh,
that is.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. You gotta have a rebuttal.
Yeah.
We will coach
You
you.
anticipate.
We want you to do a roast.
I would do a
Okay,
roast. That'd be
we
fun.
are gonna be there for you.
Let's do it
And
right now.
All your jokes are like your decor's bad.
Your knowledge structures. Are off. Nice pun, bro.
Yeah.
I don't like. Here's the thing with puns. That okay.
Oh, let's
Here's
get
a-
into it. I love puns. Okay, I love puns, and
Really? Okay.
I'll pun all day long.
Okay.
Love a
I was
pun.
gonna dunk on him.
Were you? No, it's okay.
Well, I mean,
it's
some
okay.
okay, because not all puns
Yeah.
are not all puns are like this.
Yeah.
So some of them are not this exact thing, but when it's when somebody's doing a thing where they just use the other meaning of a word, I always find that really boring because that's built into the language.
Oh,
You know
like
what I
in
mean?
terms of like the joke, like they're telling a joke and they're just using like a homophone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Homophone I find really really boring because it's
Yeah.
like
So boring.
the word bomb means blow up. And it means do poorly on stage. If you just switch them, it's like, yeah, no, we know.
Yeah,
You know
because
what I mean?
also
Yeah.
many of those jokes have been done before, so it's kind of hard
Exactly.
to do a joke like that and claim that it's original. My
Totally.
favorite type of pun, which is really this is like more of a bun, is like eliding two words in a way that makes sense.
Well,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
one
yeah, okay.
example I can think of that I was like, that is probably the best usage I've ever heard. It was a female improv group called Ovary Action.
Oh, great!
Isn't
That's
that
a great?
great?
Pun.
good.
Because it's two meanings
Yeah,
that work.
that's good.
Overreaction and
Brilliant.
overreaction.
brilliant.
I guess the word
Genius.
pun needs to be like separated into a couple different things, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
Just
should be
a catch-all
categories.
for- yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a bun is like a pun, but it's really more of like a play on words. A bun is like a pun that when you use a word that kind of sounds like a word. So it's like a pun truly is when you just use a homophone in a like a double entendre context. But a bun is when you would use like a word like instead of bomb, I would say like boom or something.
Okay.
You know, like
What's a spoonerism? Is that something like that?
a spoon.
Shit,
A spoonerism.
What about comedy?
I think those are from aren't those from like the Spoon River anthology where it's like a specific type of like stating something about somebody? Am I
have no idea.
Am I fucked up?
I have no idea. Yeah, totally.
I've never heard of spoonerism, so
I'm gonna look
Really?
it up on my
I'm getting
phone right
educated.
now.
Yeah, look it up.
My parents usually do. I don't know what these kinds of puns are, but like if we're driving by a cemetery on a vacation, they're like, "Hey kids, that's dead center of town." So I don't know what kind of pun that is, and then they just keep going. Once it starts, they won't stop.
It feels like a
They love it.
like a phrase homophone in a certain
Yeah.
sense. You know what I mean? Like dead center.
Yeah,
It's like it's not like based on the one, but it's I don't know.
because it is
Interesting.
the center where everybody's dead,
Right.
and it
Oh.
could be a lot of the times it is the center of town.
Right. So I guess
Okay.
it's not. Yeah, it's totally interesting.
So it works both ways.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A spoonerism is when you mix the first two letters of the words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
If
do we have
I
an
was like
example?
instead of like Katie Hannigan, I'd be like Haiti Cannigan.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, which I do that sometimes when I'm tired, just by
Yeah.
accident. It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did I think that was related to the Spoon River anthology? And what is that?
That's got to be some
That's
sort of
why I
pun going on.
I
in
know.
there.
I can't
Yeah.
trust my brain.
I keep playing with these. This is
What
fun.
are? Oh,
I know. I
your-
love your
stones.
pieces. I
I'm
love
like,
your stones.
If I just go on Tinder dates while like rolling these around in my hand.
I guarantee you'll be blown immediately. Ladies love stones.
What does jade do again? You said.
Jade is a dreaming stone, so
Oh,
it's like one of
gotcha.
the most powerful. Like if you put it under your pillow, you'll have like more vivid dreams.
Okay. And then love. All right. That's right.
Yeah.
This is the wet dream combo.
Wet dream
Yeah.
combo.
Are there any that are for finding love while you're awake? Is that? Also, the way the shelves are is these are like the unpolished stones, polished stones, and then these are like parts of animals in their bodies. So like whale teeth and like.
I love that you have it
fossilized
arranged.
woods
It
and stuff.
feels like this is the insectarium.
Well, you know, it reminds me of when I would go to like camp when I was a kid. It was like nature.
Yes. Yeah,
And
yes.
then you do your trail and the guy tells you everything, and then you get to like the building and they have all this stuff here.
Exactly. Did you do a nature camp?
Yes.
I mean, so did I. for
Yeah,
years.
like
Love a nature
there'd
camp.
be one nearby where I grew up.
Would you grow
There's
up there?
several. I grew up in Texas.
Oh, cool.
But they're, they'd
Right,
have
you were
this
saying.
kind of stuff because people.
South Africa.
You would find this all the time in Texas. When you're walking in the woods, you would find this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Do you have rattlesnakes and stuff too? Like,
We
you
do
had, like-
moccasins and rattlesnakes.
Yeah, we have
and
diamondbacks in
garden snakes.
southern Indiana, but
Yeah.
not really where I grew up.
You had like dangerous stuff. Like where I'm from, like almost none of it was dangerous, right? Like
We have some alligators.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
Texas got some
Texas?
alligators. Yeah,
Wow,
and
that's
there's more and
interesting.
more. When we got that huge flood a few years ago, gators were coming up on people's property.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
they're
awesome.
not super big because I actually think they kind of can grow to their surroundings.
Okay.
I love the Everglades. I love the Everglades. I think I love like taking like a little boat tour.
I want to do
around
that,
Damn,
like
I've never
the
done it.
Carlton Reserve.
Yeah.
I want to do that, and then the springs that you can do on the
Shit fuck.
Gulf Coast of Florida. I want to
yes.
do those.
Damn.
The
that'd be so
Gulf
cool.
Coast, the Taint, as it's
Taint.
known. But I like that side of Florida.
Yeah, well,
like the
I
Gulf
like
Coast.
oddly. People shit on Florida, but I like Florida.
I like it and I
seems
don't
like
it.
1,000 places.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like it's like Orlando is not the Everglades. Is not.
No.
Yes, it's
You
not
got-
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, Key West, all the Keys.
Their keys are so freaking cool.
Yeah.
I went there one time for a trip. We like rented an Airbnb. We rented kayaks, which was so cool. And this was right during when the Malaysian plane had gone down, and the like kayak owner was like telling us his theory. You know, it was like just a random
Yes, of
character in the middle
course.
of nowhere.
Those guys
Captain
always have
Bob.
theories.
Yeah. But it was so cool. I mean, it was just beautiful out there. Key West, I would say, like, if you're going to the Keys, don't go to Key West because it's such like a tourist.
I love Key
Did I offend you?
West.
I'm so sorry. I knew it would
Well,
happen.
it is touristy, but I love you. It's a totally walking town.
That is true. And
Yeah.
they have a pit bull themed cocktail bar, which
They
I
do.
love that about that.
And a
Mr.
nudist colony on the rooftop.
Oh my God, I didn't know that. This is
Garden
news.
of Eden.
Wow.
And then I also think it's fascinating. I think we talked about this or touched on it. It's where Trumpers and gays get along.
Oh yes.
Is it like? I
It's
guess,
very
like, upper class?
WT though.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No judgment.
Wait, what's WT?
I can
White?
white trash.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I was like WT. Yeah.
That's my
Interesting.
slur.
It's a slur. It's a slur that we can use. The only one.
I like to WT it up every now and then.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Me too.
shit.
I love to wear
Yeah.
a cutoff short.
Or jet ski.
I'm wearing cutoff shorts right now.
Oh. Now, are you?
Are these cutoff shorts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Gotcha.
those look great.
Appreciate that.
Those look great. What's on your shirt, Bob Steiner?
Yeah. This
Wow.
is the part of Philly where that like dam is that I was talking about.
Yes.
Oh my
It's like right
gosh.
near there.
I love it. You have
It's
such
not
a Philly
cemetery.
vibe.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's those are that's a cemetery around it. That's why it says a
Oh.
monumental dining experience.
Oh my gosh, I see.
Yeah.
What a great.
It's a graveyard
Yeah.
on 3 sides of it.
That's what I want. You know, I want to eat something decadent while I'm surrounded by like my mortality.
It's pretty
Yes.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
know, like I'll have the waffles.
Never mind.
The
Salad.
staff, is like, the staff is old too, so like once they're
Really?
done, just kick them out the door,
Yeah, yeah.
dump them out back.
Bob's
Bury them.
plot.
Yeah.
Have you ever
fun.
walked in a graveyard at night?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I used to love to
Driven,
do it.
but not walked.
I used to love to do it in Indianapolis, by where I went to school. They have the Crown Point Cemetery, which is this beautiful, old, huge cemetery. And I would go there and just walk around and do like rubbings, like do grave rubbings. You know, like, oh, an artiste. Meanwhile, I'm just like on somebody's child's grave, like, this is my art.
It is so weird. I don't know. People have these huge monuments. and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, nobody knows who you are anymore, man. I don't know. Like they're like if it's like
Yeah.
1800s or something.
Yeah, in
you know?
Galveston,
Yeah.
which is predominantly, and that's a beach town in Texas, it's predominantly Catholic. They have a huge Mardi Gras celebration. It's like the second largest Mardi Gras in the U.S. besides New Orleans.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But their cemetery has those, what are they called? Mausoleums.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like little buildings for your dead family.
Totally.
So bizarre.
Yeah.
Philly's got some of those. It seems to be Italian Catholic sometimes too.
Yeah.
Is that like a thing? Yeah.
I want to be shot into space. That's how I want to be. Or just shoot me into space. I'm sure Amazon will come up with it soon.
Yeah, probably.
Just let my body rot away
It's a new
for
Viking
eternity.
funeral.
Yeah. Well, I always did think something like I would definitely prefer to be like cremated or something. You know, I don't
Same.
want to be like just in the ground waiting for the zombie apocalypse. But like the idea of like a burial at sea, like ooh, kind of like romantic.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. I guess mushroom suit is like the eco-friendly
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I'm into that. I saw
Or like
one,
the tree thing.
yeah, the little tree pod. I
Yeah,
saw that.
totally.
That's
I
very
like
cool.
that. It's weird though, but
'Cause
I
then you're
like it.
I'm going to visit father.
And hug him.
It's like embalming fluid is like pure poison
It's-
for the environment. It's like crazy.
So it's wild that we even do it. It's like how about we don't have the funeral a month after someone dies?
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
let them go.
That was
Jewish?
a thing.
No.
Oh, I guess
Oh.
Jews do that. They're like 3 days later.
Oh
Also.
yeah, they
Oh,
do.
yeah.
What were you saying?
Oh, did you ever hear about like I remember when I was in high school, there'd be people would lightly dip their joints in embalming
totally.
fluid,
They call
and
it
I
wet
was
or
like,
whatever.
"That's disgusting." My friend did it once, and he
Yeah.
said he went swimming, and it felt like his body just broke up into different particles.
Oh yeah, that's
I
terrible.
was like, I don't need that kind of high. I just want to giggle and relax.
I just want to go swimming.
Yeah, I know. Like, let's not lace this with crack, okay? Yeah, that's wild. I've heard of that too. I thought that was like more kind of a thing now, where people were like just into doing it.
Yeah.
Is it come back around? I'm
you
asking.
don't-
I'm
Maybe
looking
it
at
never
you.
went
You
away.
don't know.
Maybe
Yeah.
it was
no
like
idea.
Uggs.
Yeah.
They never went out of style
again. Yeah.
It's funny the stuff that correlates. Like, I'm sure Uggs and that were happening at some sort of similar.
Yeah, it's like
you know what I
a
mean?
freakonomics
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah, totally.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
So, because I bet a lot of them have similar causes or something. It's like, 9/11 and like war in Iraq or something, and it's like just the way the
Yes.
culture's
Uggs
acting.
and embalming fluid in
Yeah.
joints.
Totally, yeah. The way different people react to these things. I don't know.
Yeah. I used to have an apocalyptic podcast called Apocalypse, and we would talk about like since post 9/11 in the United States, that was when they had like a ton of zombie movies.
Oh, interesting.
Pre 9/11, they had like a few classic zombie movies, and then post 9/11, the first one was, remember that 28 Days Later?
Love that movie.
Oh my god, I
love
it.
that movie.
So it's so freaky and
I
scary.
just really like zombie movies.
I love them. I love them because
they're
a
fun.
zombie movie for me, like as a woman, I cannot watch a movie where like there's a home invasion because
Yeah.
I'm like, it could happen, and every day I'm terrified. And like zombies, I'm like, rip his face off. I love it. I'm
Let's
safe.
shoot the child in the head.
Shoot him in the head. I'm fine. So yeah, I love a zombie movie.
Did you watch Last of Us?
Oh
yes.
yes!
Oh, that's
my
great.
god!
Yeah.
Of course. Now, what did you think about the cordyceps in there? You're a nature guy. Did you love it?
Oh yeah, I thought it was
The
great.
mushroom.
Yeah,
Loved
totally.
it.
Background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch Last of Us?
I did.
Oh my god!
I went through the Pedro Pascal phase that
Oh my
America
God,
went through.
Daddy.
And now-
Daddy Pedro. I have always found him so handsome since Narcos, and in Game of Thrones, I was kind of like, whatever.
I didn't think too much of
I
him,
didn't
but he
realize
was
it's the same guy.
a
Yeah.
great character in Game of Thrones, but I wasn't like this, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like there were so
Yeah.
many other guys there that I was like, he wasn't in my top 5 Game of
He
Thrones
was
dudes.
no Jon Snow.
I even think Peter Dinklage was in my top 5.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I have seen him. I've seen him 2 times on Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn, and
Oh,
it
really?
was such a thrill. But I did not say hi to him because I know he doesn't like it when people say hi to him in public.
I
So
get
I
it.
just winked.
Is there like a list? Is there
You
like
winked
a,
at the dink.
Is there like, how do we know like which celebrities? You know what I mean? Is there like a list or something?
I think
Like-
I heard it on some kind of like celebrity gossip site or something like that.
He gets a lot of weirdos too. People
I
like trying
know.
to pick him up.
I think
yeah.
that's I
Oh,
think
sure.
that's a lot of it is that like he's just kind of he has to like set a boundary because too many people are like "Hey,"
Inappropriate.
saying like weird, terrible stuff. People just think that because you're a little person, they're free to like use slurs, you know, which they would never do in another context. So
yeah.
Damn.
Pro Dink.
Pro Dink, love him.
Pro Dink privacy.
Love him. He was so great in Game of Thrones.
I didn't give Wink at the Dink enough prize. Went straight to my side. Go back to
that was
prop.
great.
Put it on a
Some
shirt.
sort of type of wordplay I love.
Yeah. What is that? I get rhyme concept or something.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's all I
Shit fun.
do. Do you guys ever do this in your relationships? I know other couples do, but make up songs.
Oh, now we don't make up songs, but Mike and I have created kind of like an alternate reality where like we have a lot of different like jokes, and like Mike's like, you're so funny, you should do that on stage. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna like lightly baby talk on stage.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know how to get into this.
Yeah, and he'd be like,
yeah.
my birthday.
You're like, I've tried, Mike, and it's bombed. Yeah.
But you guys love to do songs though. I remember
we
that.
do.
Come up with like,
and I like to pretend that there's a convention for couples and who writes the best jingle. But because I know I've met another couple that they do jingles together.
Really?
And Joe and I try to compete each other, but I think he has the most hits. We'll be like, that's a hit.
That's hilarious.
One of our favorites, we did Impractical Jokers, and they did like live jam karaoke, and where 8 people have a mic, and you're supposed to be singing along, but we did our own jingle on stage, and we're like, no one knows.
That's so fun.
But yeah, I'm hoping to meet other couples that jingle.
Yeah, maybe you'll get a girlfriend that'll jingle.
I've done a thing more than once that maybe I'm a little embarrassed about. That I like will just like lip sing one of my favorite songs at them or something.
Yes.
I don't know. Like just like it's playing and I just get like really into it or something. And I, like more like people have taken it different ways where it's like either they're like kind of like weirded out that I'm doing that, or some people are like into it that I'm like kind of serenading. I don't know.
Yeah.
But now I'm embarrassed by it. So maybe I won't do that again.
No,
I think it's a sign. I think it's a sign when you can be
sexualized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like just goofy in an unfiltered way. Like that's what you need as a comedian in a partner, because then you can quit.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to do shows anymore.
Then you're
Every
cured. Yeah. But there's something funny when your partner that you're like, I have taken out any sexuality right now. I am your little boy.
I do feel, I mean, in terms of little boy, like a lot of my interests are very third grade boy-esque. And so I do think there's like I don't know. People have to like be down with that as an idea going into it.
But I have to say though, like
dinosaurs.
But then it transcends. It's like it's little boy, but then when you're a man and you have the confidence to be into those things, then it's like you like go from being like almost 30 to like 60. You know, it's like wow, now you're an old soul.
Your socks
sure.
with sandals.
Yeah. Yeah. We're all little boys inside, aren't we?
I think we are. Yeah.
It's like reminded me of the thing where like the pickup line would be like are you little? Do you have a little boy in you or whatever? It's like, do you want one or whatever?
But I like it though when it is. I find it fascinating when people have fascinations or get obsessed, where you're like,
absolutely,
how?
Yeah.
Why? And how did you get into this?
Yeah.
What are you obsessed with?
Honestly, not much. I don't think. It's weird. I like fashion, but I don't exhibit it. I love following fashion blogs and like style and all that stuff, but I don't have the means to keep it going.
Yeah.
Or like to partake in it too much.
I bet whatever you're like.
I like comedy.
TikTok
I think is
algorithm. Like, what's your TikTok?
Cooking.
Like, yeah, is that
Yeah.
A lot of
are you obsessed with,
cooking.
like watching that kind of thing?
I like food, but like, I like music, but I don't have, I get jealous of people that have like, I am obsessed about Taylor Swift, and I'm like, I can't. The only artist I did that to was probably PJ Harvey, and I grew out of her.
Ooh.
And
That's a good
no
one,
one knows
though.
that.
Yeah, I love having an obsession. Like when you feel a new obsession coming on, it's like, a reason to live.
Yes.
I'm very obsessed with science fiction. And
Really?
it's something that I haven't been that obsessed with like since kind of like the pandemic, I guess. You know, like we go in like phases, but like I've read like tons of sci-fi classics, like all the Dune stuff, like really obsessed with sci-fi books. And I used to work in the observatory in my college, and we would like, it was really cool. They would have like all this technology for finding extrasolar like planets, and it was fascinating to me. So I've always loved it. And you know, I definitely did put in an application to be on the Mars One.
Cool.
First man mission to Mars. Rejected. I've done a couple of those. I wrote a whole pilot about like a girl who's an influencer who goes to Mars.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, didn't get picked up. But I love that stuff, and I love it when I get into like a phase of reading like a really good sci-fi book. It's like, there's nothing better.
What's like I do like fantasy or in like creating worlds like that, because you're like, it's better than anything here.
Yes.
Like that's why I love Game of Thrones. I like the idea of politics, and then you throw in some dragons and incest.
I
totally
love
got
it.
me.
I love like binge watching a show is like, that's an obsession. Like,
Yeah.
if you get
Yes.
into Game of Thrones, like
I'll put it on as
once
my
there's already
background.
4 seasons, it's like less fucking. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And I always
Yeah.
go to one episode of Game of Thrones when Khaleesi frees the slaves, and they don't know that her mom was a Targaryen or something weird like that. I forgot the right terminology, and she speaks the language and gets all of her dragons back, and then now she's off to go to Westeros.
That episode was so satisfying.
It was. You're like, you go, girl.
Yeah. Game of Thrones was so great because they would just set up every season. It would just be like so much build up, and then it would all come together so perfectly. It was like, brain orgasms.
I would say except
Yeah.
the end.
Except the end.
The end
Whoa.
sucked.
But
Boy.
I didn't mind Arya
Yeah, that they should have just cut it off at that episode.
when she killed the Winter King or whatever he's called.
Yeah, just cut it off and then don't have 2 other long episodes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Jack Frost.
But even her like killing that guy, it was like her narrative arc had nothing to do with that guy. You know what
The
I
only
mean?
thing
So
is
it's
that
like,
Red Witch was like blue eye, green eye, or whatever. So she prophesized Arya murdering that guy.
but even that's like, I don't know, some
You
loose
could fit that in.
jingle.
That's a loose
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I didn't care for her storyline when she went into the House of Many Faces or whatever.
It
I was
made
so
no
kind of
sense.
bored with that
Yeah.
one. Yeah. I just liked the Khaleesi story arc.
Yeah.
And Jon Snow.
Yeah, Jon Snow. Yeah.
It felt like
Totally.
a rabbit hole. But I have to say, like when Sansa and
I'm talking about this stuff.
I know.
When you know it so well, and when somebody asks you to explain it, and you're like, okay, well, there's Targaryens, and they have, but are they
There's
different
a
than
Winter
from
King.
this? And
Yeah. There was mental illness in the family. I wish that Sansa and Peter Dinklage had just like made it work.
Same here.
He was so kind and sweet. He could have been like cool about it. It was
Yeah.
like then she had to go to Littlefinger.
Who?
Little fingers, nasty.
I guess I didn't remember that they were together. Is that a?
No,
Is that a
they were
plot
forced
point?
into marriage, but he respected her.
Yes, and
He always worked under morality. And
he did. He had his own code.
Yes, that was the good code.
Yeah, it was when like King Joffrey, she was like gonna marry King Joffrey, right, and then she didn't, and then they tried to marry her to Littlefinger, or not Littlefinger. I'm calling Peter Dinklage Littlefinger accidentally,
right.
but
Yeah.
he's a little person. So I was
Happens all the time in that
confused
world.
Littlefinger was actually normal size,
Yes.
but he had a goatee.
Right.
Yeah, he was.
That's
ugh.
that's what the Littlefinger was referring to. That.
Yeah, he was a slime ball, and you knew it right out the gate.
Oh, and I loved it.
Yes.
He was a great character.
Yeah, he was.
That guy
Great.
crushed it. Yeah.
Also, anytime he's been enacting and stuff for years, and I'm always like, there he is. He's
Yeah.
in tons of an English film.
That's the great thing.
Irish
It seemed
film.
like every British person was in Game of Thrones at some point. You're like, was that guy in The Office?
The whole island.
Yeah.
Didn't that guy sing "A Shape of You"?
Yeah.
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 I think there was a guy from The Office.
I
Really?
think that
Okay.
the guy, it was the
Rainn
guy.
Wilson's character, or is that Pirates? I'm thinking.
I think that was
Gareth.
him
it's the
too.
same guy. He's by the same.
Yeah.
Gareth.
Gareth, yeah.
He was like one of the Wilding people,
Yes,
I
he
think.
was,
Yeah.
The guy who gets the fork in his eyeball. And
Yeah.
Pirates.
Yeah.
Also, we're coming up at the end of the first hour. If you guys want, and then we'll go to Patreon. But do you guys have stuff you want to plug?
Yeah, subscribe to Lady Journey on all Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube,
Yes.
wherever you can get podcasts. That's where we're at.
Lady Journey.
Wherever you're listening to this currently, just type in Lady Journey instead of Benny Feldman's podcast in the search bar that you have.
Yes. And join us for a quest through obsessions.
Middle Earth.
Yeah.
A quest to be a lady. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was there a tagline? Is that the?
It's Lady Journey. Well, anybody can be a lady. I want to say
Yeah,
that
it's
because we're in a.
inclusive.
Yeah, it's
That's
inclusive.
that's like Ratatouille. Anybody can cook.
Yes.
Anybody can be a lady.
A lady is not a gendered identity, but a universal one.
It's a vibe.
It's a lady inside of all of us.
That's
on-
right.
on the
there's a
outside.
little boy
Yeah.
and there's two people inside of us all. There's a little boy and there's a lady.
And the one you
And
feed is
they're-
the one that
that's
wins.
right. That's
The
right.
little boy eats macaroni and the lady eats scones.
Folks, we're going to go to the Patreon. It's only $4 a month. Buy me a third of a sandwich
Whoa.
or whatever, and you get all the bonus apps with all the people or whatever. You guys want to take a break? You're going to keep cooking.
Let's
We
go.
can-
Let's
Yeah,
keep
we'll
going.
keep
All right.
cooking.
Ready to
Cool,
go.
cool.